Hello. Today is January 22nd, 2025. Almost at 2023. I was about to say I wish, but no. We should not wish to go back in time. Um Today will have been almost 1 month since my cat's passing. Today, about a month ago, we had gotten back home. Whoa, we started off pretty sad. My bad. So today I came back up to play the piano, and I was like, might as well record too. Well, actually, I came out to record, but it's like become custom to play the piano and then start recording, so I did that. Today was a good day at school, I would say. I feel like or maybe it was just a day, but there's many good things that happened throughout the day. What was I gonna say? I was actually in the sweater that my cat passed away in. As I held him in my arms. I hope that wasn't too sad. Tomorrow will be the first month since he's been gone. We had him for 11 years, if you didn't know Sochi's story. And it's probably been one of the most excruciating experiences of my life. As with anybody that has to grieving, that are grieving. But life keeps going, right? And that's kind of like to say that like time will never stop. It's not like it's only like the time that counts is not only the time that you want it to count, but it's all the time. Like it's always counting. Like it's not like, well, today I'm gonna do something useful, so it's gonna count and it'll make up time. Like it'll count. You know. It's also the time where you decide not to do something productive. Like that time counts too. It's just to say, appreciate what you have before you don't have it, and that goes for everything. It's not just family. Specifically for family though. And appreciate yourself. Appreciate your body. Do exercise. Do things. Get your mind working before it starts deteriorating. I hope this doesn't sound too much like a lecture. It kind of sounds like it is a lecture, but I didn't mean it to come off that way. Today was not the hardest day. Yeah, but I think it was last week. Last week it was really, really tough. Like one of the days it was just like, sometimes there's just days like everything just hits you all at once, like wow, he's really never coming back, right? And so just appreciate what you have before you don't. And if you're also going through the process of grieving someone that you love or somebody else that you know, just always be kind, even to yourself. It'll take time to get back to normal because normal used to be with them. Normal was when you would wake up and you'd see them before. Normal was a time when you could wake up and you could almost see colors. Everything was warm. And then all of a sudden it's just dull. So it'll take time. It's not to say it'll be forever dull, especially if you think about them in a warm place. As in like in your heart. It's gonna be okay. Just think of all the many times that you've been through a lot of things, yet you overcame them. Think of it like that. Like think of it like not trophies, because they're not necessarily trophies, but more like this means you're living. To feel means you're living. To experience means you're living. And this is good. Pain is good. Even though it might sound very bad, it really is good, I'd say. Because it means that there was something worth so much that its absence weighs so much more. than nothing. Which is interesting because you could feel absence, but you wouldn't be able to feel nothing. You see what I'm saying? Like, how can you feel something but not feel nothing? It's my brain makes weird. It just makes up random things on when I'm talking. But I could say be grateful for all you have. Be grateful for perhaps you can see. Be grateful to be able to see. If you can't, perhaps be grateful to hear. If you can't hear, be grateful for other things. Be grateful if you can't hear, maybe you can see. And maybe, even though it must be really hard to not have many senses, because I'm sure that when we get older, our body might start deteriorating, especially if we don't care for it when we're younger. It's just to say be thankful for the past, for the present, and for the future. Because these are all stages of life that make us more grateful. And without gratitude, we live a life full of pain. Unnecessary pain. Unnecessary suffering. Not worthy of. Pain not worthy of the suffering. As in, the pain of love is worth. I was thinking today in school, I was sitting down and I was like, if I could have avoided all this pain, if I were to be able to feel this pain at 10 times even more, just to have them one more time here. I didn't even have to think about it. It was just, yeah. It was immediately, yeah. And then after I had said it, I was like, but it's so painful, and it's so painful. And I was even trying to find other ways to be like, no, maybe it really isn't, but it really is. Because I couldn't have imagined another type of life without my cat. And for you, maybe it was something else. Maybe it's a family member, a human. Maybe it's another pet. Maybe it's somebody that's not related to you, but your heart knows them. And I'd say just pray for everybody. And just keep going. Just keep going. Sometimes all it takes is a smile on your face, because even though you're going through a lot, maybe somebody else is too, and they don't deserve any of that pain seeping out onto them. And it's hard. It really is. But it's a kind of heart that we have to get used to, instead of any other kinds of hearts, as in the heart of, oh, I'm sitting here doing nothing. What am I doing here? No, just live. If you live, you get to feel the pain of life instead of the pain of regrets, and I think that's much better. There will be many times where we make mistakes, obviously, but always remember to focus on him, not the storm. And I know today, later on, it's gonna get really hard as the day continues, but I just have to focus on him, not the storm. And I had to not convince myself to pretend that these feelings don't exist, because eventually they're gonna come back up again. Can't keep suppressing them. But there's good ways to purge them. You can do art, you can do sports, you can do anything that can help you, that is good, productive. Maybe, well, maybe it's for you, it might be playing a sport, maybe it might be playing an instrument, maybe it's art, some sort of form of art, crafts, helping others. That's not to say don't feel these emotions, because the more that you, it's like, like, we call it like, when you're starting out to swim and they give you like that board, the swimming board that you get to hold on to, and like you gotta kick your legs with it, or something, the one that you might put under your legs, pretend you're surfing, that one, it's like that. The more that you push it down, the more pressure you feel it, and instead of having like pushed it down, if you just sat with it still, it would have stayed still. It would have even helped you get forward, Sometimes you can only use what you have. Maybe you only had your legs to start out somewhere. and then to level up. But if you hadn't used your emotions for the right thing, perhaps you were trying to sink them down. What happened afterwards? You might have pulled them off for a long time, perhaps, but eventually it would have had to come back up to the surface. And it would have come at a much more impactful force if you hold it off for too long. But if you learn to ride along with it, ride the wave, then you're able to keep moving forward, literally, instead of staying in that place, perhaps even going backwards. And I'm sure there's other ways of symbolism for that too. Today, I don't think I'll really talk much, but I just wanted to get the recording in. Sometimes we don't want to do things, but we just have to get into the habit of consistency. As you've realized with a lot of habits, I realized this yesterday, and where we can have a lot of bad habits, as in, oh, I don't want to have to do this, I don't want to have to procrastinate, I don't want to have to this, or sometimes it's like addiction, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to do this anymore, but yet we still contain. And why? Because habits, consistency. So I realized I don't want to do this, yet I end up doing it. So then that means that it not only works one way, but it works in general. So I'm gonna try it out. So it's gonna be where I'm just gonna do it even if I don't want to. Like today, maybe I didn't really feel like recording today, but I tricked myself. I was like, well, just go play the piano. Just go play a little bit of notes before you start homework. And then when I was up here, the computer was right here, so I was like, I might as well get the recording in. And it's just little by little. Sometimes if you just like focus, sometimes our focus is like so far away, as in even with swimming, like you're on one side of the pool and you're looking at the other side and you're just like, oh, so much water. It just becomes too much. Like you're gonna have to come back up and down so many times, get breath, what is gonna happen in that time. But if you just focus on, it's fine, I just gotta get to like, I just gotta get my head under the water. I just gotta sink my body into the water, come back up, and start getting into the motion of things. All I have to do is just one step, just get in the water, push off the wall, get to the middle of the pool. I'm in the middle, I might as well continue. It's stuff like that. And I was actually writing a poem on that. If you guys are interested in hearing them, I'd like to share with you guys. And if you guys have done any forms of art that you guys are also want to share, please share them somehow. You can email them, or you could type them out in the comments, or text them to me. We can talk about it. And yeah, so the poem's name is Chaos, a Gift from Peace, and I'm currently working on that one. And I feel like sometimes we can tend to continue, or like whenever we're trying to get our emotions out, we continue things, stop, continue. It's just like breaking it up. But sometimes that's what we need, and just one step at a time. God says it, one day at a time. Do not focus on tomorrow. Focus on today. And sometimes that's what we have to do. I pray you're having a good day. If there's anything that you want to talk about, I'm here to talk about it. And so are the other people in your life. It's gonna be okay. Be grateful for everything that you have. Never stop loving. Love you guys.